guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for One Piece episode 822. And right off the bat, I gotta say, I'm convinced One Piece just makes you care about the strangest of inanimate objects. Like first it was Luffy's hat, then it was the Mary. Like God bless Mary's soul for what happened there. Like holy shit, and now a lunchbox, a freaking lunchbox. Like One Piece, One Piece, One Piece. How do you make me care about this shit? And in the strangest of ways, that the symbolism in that one lunchbox was so strong because it showed that Sanji, for all his perviness, has a stronger tie to his crew than he does to any woman. I mean, hell, he even said it himself that the lunch he made contained not a single one of Pudding's favorite dishes, but it had it had all of his all of his friends and crewmates' favorite meals. So, and it works here because throughout the past couple episodes, especially after talking with Reiju, we see Sanji has been struggling to make a decision of what he wants to do. But the moment he kicked the shit out of Bobbin, he made his choice of where he truly wanted to be, even if he won't openly admit it. Even though it all depends on whether or not he's actually going to openly admit it after seeing Luffy. Like, I imagine Luffy. I imagine where, like honestly, I imagine even after hearing all that Sanji has, I I bet it's going to be a situation where even after he gives the lunchbox to Luffy, he's still going to end up not pretty much. He's still going to end up being a bit of a being. He's still probably going to end up having a bit of remorse about even returning to the Straws until he can settle the whole matter with his family or something like that. Like I'm imagining that's probably going to be the case. But yeah, like just that one lunchbox, it's actually kind of incredible that that One Piece can make me care about such a thing. It's yeah, I'm like One Piece. How do you work? I want to understand you. How do you work? But yeah, and yeah, it will, and yeah, and it was just a very nice scene, honestly. So aside from that, we learned in this episode that Jinbei apparently didn't even spin Big Mom's roulette, which was followed by us learning the fact that the whole roulette is actually a rigged gamble, which honestly just makes me say, Big Mom, you cheap bitch. Like seriously, that roulette trick is cheap as fuck to me, but I just think that roulette trick is cheap as fuck, but considering it's Big Mom is a pirate and a psychotic fat bitch, I suppose it makes sense. Like you shouldn't with it's one of those things where it's cheap and deranged as fuck, but with Big Mom, it just fucking works. Somehow it just fucking works. Now, having said that, with Jinbei effectively committing treason, like he would have been committing treason in either situation, but with him effectively committing treason, he did bring up a good he did bring up a good point, which is that Big Mom has been protecting Fishman Island, but what happens to it now that Jinbei has betrayed her? Because Madame Charlotte, because with this, I'm getting a bit of a throwback to I'm getting a bit of dark foreshadowing of basically what Madame Charlotte's prediction in Fishman Island. Like Madame Charlotte's prediction, this could be one of the trigger points that actually pretty much allows her prediction to come true, because even even if she did tell those children not to worry, it's one of the things where Luffy may not be directly responsible, but opposing Big Mom like the way the Straws have been doing could be what destroys Fishman Island. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this is if this triggers what it was that I'm surely predicted, like it would only make sense that it would only make sense that the what it only makes sense that what ends up destroying Fishman Island is not Luffy himself, but Luffy's defiance against a Yonko, especially a Yonko that has control of Fishman Island. So in a strange way, Luffy still might end up destroying Fishman Island. It's just not directly at his hands. It's at the hands of someone he provoked. So yeah, it's a bit of a twisted logic, but in a way, it almost you could also argue it works. Uh, now, now when Chopper when Chopper said, "Come on, guys, let's go save Luffy, Sanji, and Brook," and then switched the scene over to seeing Big Mom dangling Brook by a rope, I was like, "Yes, yes. Chopper, do that, but please, if I may make a suggestion, please make Brook a priority rescue." I mean, seriously, every time I see a scene with Big Mom and Brook now, I know it's gonna make me feel so uncomfortable. And Big Mom's little flower daydream probably didn't help. It didn't help matters either. In fact, it downright made me shudder. Like when you see Big Mom with that big rosy cheeks and smile on her face, and those flowers surrounding her in that sort of daydream sequence or something, I was like, oh, Big Mom, how many levels uncomfortable can you make me? Seriously, every time something like that happens with Big Moms, I literally have a chill up my spine and I shudder and I shudder like, oh, like I know I'm talking about the anime here, but Oda did amazingly at making us feel uncomfortable with a character like Big Mom. Like, holy frick, ugh, yeah, and I don't even like honestly. I don't even want to think about what the next scene with them is going to be like. Oh, and I guess just to add to it, if you think, and what's funny is, if you think Big Mom can't get any more depraved than how I'm describing this scene, don't worry. This episode gives you visual representation of how she sees the wedding going down, and of how she sees the scenario of the wedding taking place, uh, and it's like it's one of those things that was creepy as fuck again. And Toei, I'll give Toei this. Like this episode, it was very it had its pacing problems, but Toei did an amazing job at detailing the whole scene in Big Mom's head of how she just envisioned it going down. Like it was amazingly done to the point. Like just the visual layout of her little of the scenario of how she viewed of how she viewed of how she viewed it going down. Um, it was Toei just did a beautiful job with the visuals on that one. It looked like something out of a freaking nightmare. Like holy crap, and seriously, like it's scenes like that that actually makes me. And honestly, it's little scenes like that where we see the depravity of Big Mom that actually make me question where in Judge Vince Smoke's mind, he thought it was a fantastic idea to team up with Big Mom. Like I'm really like honestly like Big Mom is depraved. There's no doubting that. But stuff like this also brings into question Judge Vin Smoke's sanity. Like, has he just devoted his entire life to conquering North Blue to the point where he just doesn't give a fuck if he has to make a deal with the devil himself in order to conquer the North Blue? Is that what he's doing? Because right now I'm desperately trying to dig into the psyche of Judge Vin Smoke in order to see where in his mindscape he actually thought teaming up with a psychopath, with a depraved psychopath like Big Mom, actually thought it would work out for him. Like I'm genuinely just wondering where the hell is your mind? Where the hell is your mind, Judge? Seriously, like where in your head do you still think this is gonna work out for you and Germa? It's yeah, like I really can't wait. I really can't wait for that time when we definitely see Judge basically get. I cannot. This is actually one of those times where I can't wait to see Judge's face when he finally when the anvil finally drops and we see him, how betrayed and we see him get betrayed. Like I cannot wait to see how he reacts when he learns he's been betrayed. Like seriously, it'll be about freaking time. Now, Now, one thing to also note about this episode is the scene switches over to a meeting between Big Mom's children talking about the Straw Hats, and we see Opera straight up lie about Luffy and Nami getting away, and even with One Piece, there is a certain formula that I can definitely that we can definitely kind of that eventually we can definitely catch on to. Like as good as One Piece is, there is definitely a formula there, and there is definitely a formula with how a story plays out in One Piece. And in this case, we can definitely say that there's always an overlooked hitch on the part of the antagonists, which allows the Straw Hats to cause mass confusion. And in this case, Opera is that hitch by him just lying his ass off about killing Luffy and Nami. And I can see this blowing up in a very big way, even more so than your average One Piece blow up, especially when you consider the whole setting of the wedding and just the vast number of people that are going to be there. Like, and yeah, like when Luffy crashes that wedding, everything is gonna go to hell. Like the entire Charlotte family is going to be in an uproar and a total state of fucking confusion and trying to figure out what's going on when that happens. And I imagine that in the turmoil, that Opera is going to be a sacrifice. Like there's no way he's getting out of this alive. Like the moment Opera lied, I knew, Opera, your ass is dead. Your ass is dead. Your ass is gonna get the soul suck treatments. Like yeah. Now, if I did have a problem with this episode, I will say there was a little too much of Luffy fighting in the city. I think, and that was in canon filler from what I know. But I think the reason why I didn't like it now compared to before is because the added scenes in the previous episode actually did make it somewhat entertaining. Because the last episode was even slower than this one. The added scenes actually added to that episode, but here it didn't feel like there really was anything that needed to be added. So it was in canon filler that did feel little and needed. And I guess again that's showcasing that Toei will get it right sometimes, but for every one or two moments of good in canon filler, there's gonna be a few stinkers as well. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.